ladies, it's Kristen, and I'm here for my 36-week update. I think I accidentally said 36-week update last week. I made sure to label the video correctly, but I apologize for that. I was 35 weeks last week, and this week I'm actually 36 weeks. This week's video is not going to be as action-packed as last week's. I just don't have that much to show off. I did get another little baby thing in the mail that I'll show you. But otherwise, I didn't get a lot of exciting boxes or anything this week, so there's not a lot to show off, and I showed you guys my birth supplies. I've added a few more things to that. I got the bottle of olive oil, a bottle of hydrogen peroxide in there, fishing net. I think I didn't have any of those things last time. I think, actually, yeah, I got a thing of salt, too. My midwife likes to put salt in the birth tub. I'm actually not certain. I want to do research on the evidence of that, but that's a whole nother topic, because of course I'm interested in evidence-based birth stuff. But I have it there. So anyways, let me talk to you about how I'm doing. First I'll talk about physically, and then I'll talk about other things. Physically so last week I showed you guys how I kind of rigged up a support band for my belly, so the pregnancy support band, which you can see under this dress, which is definitely my favorite dress right now. So I'm still wearing that every day, and it's definitely really helpful. Plus the second band that I showed y'all around like the fullest part of my belly. It definitely helps keep that pain, like just that soreness from my belly button, like gets sore from being stretched, I guess. And it really helps with that. So I've been able to wear it all day. One of the things I was worried about was I'm not going to be able to wear it because it's going to drive me crazy. But I guess the benefits are much better. I do, especially for the pregnancy support band, the prenatal cradle, I really have to adjust that here and there throughout the day because sometimes it'll dig in and get uncomfortable. But I just go and like move it up or shift it down. And so I'm still getting some support, and it gives whatever spot the pressure point was on a little bit of relief. So I'm still doing that, and otherwise, I will honestly say I'm feeling pretty uncomfortable at this point. It helps to have the belly support. I don't feel so huge, but I've got heartburn pretty much every day, no matter what I eat, which is something that's happened to me at the end of every pregnancy, just as the baby's getting big. And it's not intolerable, but it's uncomfortable. It doesn't seem to be happening in the middle of the night anymore, which is really nice. I'm still waking up in the night with a lot of burps, so my digestion is still kind of wonky in the night. I've started taking a probiotic again. I had started taking one before the fair, and then fair week, my bowels got really loose, which is not what you want when you can only use a porta potty at the fair. So I had stopped taking it in case that was it. But this week, I've started taking it again. I haven't seen any ill effects. I don't know if I've seen super positive effects yet either, but we'll see over the next few days. Another thing that I've done more this week is I haven't done it every night, but most nights I've been having a cup of magnesium tea to help with achiness. And also I've been having a lot of cramping. I think like round ligament pain, which is actually getting better. I think that I hadn't had a lot, and then I started having a lot when I started doing the belly binding. And I honestly think that it's because my muscles were being held in a position that they weren't used to being held in by the belly band. So I started having that cramping and doing the magnesium tea to help with that. And I do think that's helped. So my muscles, I think, have adjusted, and the magnesium tea has helped. I've had some, I don't know that I want to say constipation, because it hasn't really been that uncomfortable, but usually I'm a everyday kind of gal, and it's been every other day, and so it's not super uncomfortable, but I can tell that it's impacting my body. Sunday was definitely the worst. Again, I wasn't really feeling uncomfortable, but I was having lots of cramps. Like, it wasn't like Braxton Hicks contractions. It was just like cramping down low. And finally on Sunday night, I was able to go to the bathroom. So it had been Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. I really needed to go. Again, it wasn't that uncomfortable to me. Like, sometimes when you're constipated, you're miserable. But I could tell, like, my my intestines weren't happy and my uterus was obviously irritable, which sucked. That was the worst. So I went on Sunday night and then had a little bit more cramping after that, and then that faded away. And it hadn't come back until actually this morning, when again it was the same thing. So I had gone to the bathroom, then it had been a day, then this morning, and this morning I went again. I was having lots, again, just little cramping, like more like really mild period cramps, and definitely not involving my whole belly, but it was enough to really be irritating to me. I wanted it to stop. So went to the bathroom finally, and it stopped a couple of hours after that. So I definitely think it's related to that. So another thing I'm hoping from the probiotic and the magnesium is let's get things moving. I have some milk kefir in the fridge. The grains have been in milk in the fridge for several weeks now, since before fair. And I'm hoping that I can bring those out, rinse them, get them into a new cup of milk, and start reviving them, and then maybe try and do smoothies every night, made with our own kefir and just strawberries or whatever. Because in the past, that's definitely been the biggest thing to help gut health. And at 36 weeks, I really want to be getting all of that into really good shape anyways, because I'm about to have a baby and I want my baby to have good gut flora. So yeah, so physically, that's been tough. I'm feeling a lot of pressure, downward pressure. It's definitely most noticeable if I'm having a Braxton Hicks contraction, or if I need to go to the bathroom, like if I need to pee even. So like today, I decided to run to the library to get some color printouts made and pick up some books. Scott asked me to stop by the grocery store on the way. The library is like 5 minutes from our house, and the grocery store is like a minute from the library. So I thought to myself, well, I'm just going to run over there, get the librarian to help me with the printouts, run by the grocery store, and run back home. So I didn't really need to go to the bathroom really bad, so I didn't go to the bathroom first because I just wanted to get there and get back. And so by the time I got to the grocery store, which, it wasn't very long, the entire trip took like just under an hour. And that was sitting there waiting for the librarian to help me with printouts too. But walking in the grocery store, I was really starting to need to pee, and I was like, oh man, I should have gone before I left the house, or at least at the library, because the pressure was just a lot. And I noticed that as soon as I go to the bathroom, so even before we go take a walk out here, I've been trying to go to the bathroom, because otherwise the pressure is just, and it just doesn't feel good. And I'm not worried that it's pressure that the baby's coming, but it's like uncomfortable. Another thing that I've been having, and this comes and goes, is I guess it feels kind of like the baby's head is pressing up against the inside of my pubic bone. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not like a rough scraping, but it's a discomfort, and it feels kind of like a pressure discomfort. So I think it's the baby's head. I've been so busy lately that I've had I just haven't had time or really even thought about it when I laid down in bed to feel the baby. But I did a couple nights ago, and I was feeling the baby's head, and it's just like, wow, that is a big old baby head there. So, and just thinking, 36 weeks, getting close to 37 weeks now, that this baby's going to be coming soon. So yeah, physically, I'm pretty uncomfortable. I really would prefer not to have prodromal labor, every night for weeks. I've had that with, I had that with Honor and Core when I didn't have it with Sadie. So I'm hoping not to again this time, but yeah, again, my digestive system definitely, my uterus seems to be finicky. So if I can't get that figured out, I haven't really been concerned that like anything's going to kick into labor, but like if that cramping hadn't stopped with going to the bathroom, I'd probably have been worried. But my midwife's still out of town for a few days, so this baby most definitely needs to wait for her to get back. But yeah, so let me talk about other things. So next week is my home visit. And actually I'm at the point now where I'm safe to have the baby at home because I am 36 weeks. But next week's my home visit. I'll actually be 37 weeks then, just because my midwife's been out of town while I've been 36 weeks. So we have her, and I need to shoot my birth photographer an email or a Facebook message because we've hired a photographer, and so she's going to go on call for me starting next week. And Yeah, I know. I mean, I know my birth team pretty well. I did give permission for a second apprentice to be there, who is not an apprentice that works with our practice, but she's from a part of Michigan that doesn't have any midwives. So she's trying to train with midwives in our area of the state, so that there will be a midwife in that part of the state. And she had asked my midwife if she could do some births, and I knew her already because I met her and talked with her for quite a long time at the Michigan Midwives Conference this spring. So I should see her next week too, which will be the first time I've seen her since the spring. So that'll be fun. And hopefully she makes it to the baby's birth. So I feel like things are coming together. I feel like I've pretty much got all the supplies I needed. Like I said last week, the only two things that I really need anymore are really the only thing I need is that car seat. And somebody suggested that I could use the Amazon baby registry completion discount to get that, which is a really good idea. So I'll probably wait a couple more weeks just because I don't feel like we need it like right away. And if I order it from Amazon, it's going to get here in 2 days anyways. So I'll wait a couple more weeks. I keep feeling like I saw it a few weeks ago marked down to like $80. Maybe I'm imagining things, or it was something else I was looking at on my registry, but now it's at like $110. And so I keep thinking, you know, maybe I'll watch it. Maybe there was a special. Maybe there will be a special. I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but I'm mentally kicking myself in case I am remembering correctly. But anyways, so I will work on getting that baby seat. And then the Mai Tai is something that I want. I don't have to have it. I looked at them again last week after, like I shared last week, we had a client who was using a Baby Hawk one. And I checked on eBay, but all the ones on eBay when I checked the other day had prints I didn't like. But I think I'm going to keep checking because that's probably a good option too, to get one of those. And I don't need that right away. I want to get it pretty soon because I want to start practicing with it. But I don't need it right away. So otherwise, I feel like we've got pretty much everything together. I've washed the last few pieces of baby things that hadn't been washed, like that swaddle blanket I showed you last week. So mentally and emotionally, I'm feeling good. I feel like this week I've gotten a lot done. I feel like I haven't gotten done quite so much as I wanted to, like with the Feeling Great class that I've been working on. I've gotten a lot recorded, a lot done on that, but I haven't had a chance to sit down and do up the handouts, which I feel bad about. Because I want to do those, and I wish I had more of it recorded than I do, but this week and next week are like the last 2 weeks that I'm going to probably need to be doing recording. So hopefully by the time I make this video last week, I'll have pretty much wrapped that up, which will be a huge like stress relief, a lot off my plate. We're going into the Labor Day holidays, so it'll be Labor Day next week, which means we won't do homeschooling. We do have a family gathering, so that'll be fun. But that probably won't take all day, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to just relax some. Honestly, it's probably what I should do and not try and work. But I might try and get a little bit of work in there too on this class. I think I'm going to run a Labor Day special. This year is the first year that I've thought about running a Labor Day special, but I was thinking of doing a mama baby birthing bundle because, you know, you'd think it's obvious for a birthing class to be on special on Labor Day just for the play on words, but I've never actually done that. So sorry about that, y'all. So I think I might do that this year, run a bundle with the mama baby birthing and great pregnancy and the whole 9 months all together. So it's always a fun bundle to do, but I think it'll be really fun for Labor Day. So I'm going to get Scott to help me set that up this weekend, well, probably in a little bit, so that it can run across the weekend and Labor Day. But, so, you know, once I talk about this because wrapping up business things is one of my goals. I taught a class this past week on long labor, and that was a really cool class. That was a lot of fun to do for me because I feel like it's a really helpful topic to talk to women about, and it was also helpful for me, like thinking about my own birth preparation. I don't really expect that I'll have a long labor, but it's always good just to, you know, do those kinds of refreshers. I feel like one of the things I usually like to do before my babies are born is sit down and really visualize what I want their births to go like, and I've tried to do that for a couple nights with this baby just recently, and it's been hard for me, surprisingly, and I'm not sure why that is. Like, in the past, I've been able to really visualize kind of a detailed scene, or at least a general pattern, and I don't know why for this baby that's feeling harder. I don't know if there are apprehensions there, or if it's just that at this point I've had, many experiences. The last few labors, once they've kicked in, have been very similar. And I don't know if my hesitation is, if I imagine it being very similar and it's very different, what am I going to do? So I'm not, but again, that's something I'm kind of probably going to try and probe just mentally over the next few nights, and try and figure something out. Because obviously you don't know what birth is like, but you can picture what you'd like it to be like. One thing that I have started this week that I meant to start weeks ago, and I finally decided I'm going to take the few minutes that it takes to do this, is something from the Pink Kit, which is called the internal work, which is just kind of, it's not perineal massage, so it's different than that. But it's just kind of helping to prepare the pelvic muscles and ligaments and everything, really to be able to relax against pressure and tension like the baby's head. And so you just use your hand, or your partner can help you do it if you want that, if you want him to. But I typically just do it myself, because that way I can fit it in wherever it fits in the day, and I don't have to bother Scott. But yeah, so it only takes a few minutes. But I've started to do it this week, which is really good, because I can definitely, even having had babies, there's still tension and stuff that develops in the pelvis over time as the muscles just get used to being in one place or the other, and a baby is, going to push. And so it's just learning, really conditioning your body to relax against that pressure rather than tensing up, and just, kind of opening to let the baby out. I really like the word soften, which is a word that the Pink Kit uses. So softening to let the baby out. And then I also use, the baby's moving a lot right now. I also like using a word that Hypno Babies uses, which is peace, that just kind of condition yourself to just relax everything down there. Anyways, so I've been doing that. And it doesn't feel great to do it in the moment, but I feel good that I've started doing that, because I feel like that helps me kind of think about and focus on the birth, because really, I feel like I'm probably going to handle like the main part of laboring and my birthing time well, because I've done it 7 times before. This baby seems to be in a really good position most of the time, and like favoring that one position. So I think I'll just deal with that like I usually have, which is before the tub gets set up, I generally like to stand with my hands on a counter or something and just kind of spiral my hips. I do not like sitting or laying down. I did in my first labor, but not now. I want to be kind of up and able to be active. And then then I like getting in the tub. So, but the pushing stage is, I really want to be ready to focus and soften during that, just because I really noticed a big difference with my 6th baby when I had done a lot of that work and conditioning beforehand to be able to relax while he was being born. A huge difference from my 5th baby, which I felt a lot of burning and stinging and pain with that birth, which is what motivated me to really prepare for my 6th baby. And then with Sadie, my 7th, I didn't prepare quite so diligently, so I felt more burning and stinging with her birth than I had with Corwin's. So I would prefer to be diligent again this time and just not feel quite that much. I felt great after both of their births, and like physically healing after both of their births has been the best out of all my babies, which I think is partially due to good nutrition and resting and relaxing the last week, which is one of the reasons why I really want to get all this stuff that I need to do wrapped up. But I feel like we've done really well with homeschooling this week. It definitely hasn't felt as hectic and as stressful as last week. This week I'm also trying to emphasize that chores need to be done, and I feel like yesterday there started to be some breakthroughs there, but the kids are still a little bit grumbly. They're still kind of dragging their feet. They're still trying to say, well, I don't really want to do this assignment, so I don't have to. I think we're going to have some unhappy kids this weekend, because I think I'm going to end up having to say, look, you didn't get your work done, so you're not going to play. Video games are only one day a week on the weekend in our house. And, so there's no Mario Kart. There's not going to be anything like that because you didn't get your schoolwork done, and that's part of the bargain. And I feel like they don't like that, but I've been pretty consistent with consequences for the past few weeks with chores, and then as we've started school, and I think they're starting to realize, look, Mom's serious about this, because last year I kind of dropped the ball. I didn't hold them very accountable, and they got away with a lot they shouldn't have been able to, and I don't want to do that this year because it's super stressful for me. Even as stressful as holding them accountable is, it's more stressful to have them goofing off when they're supposed to be doing work, and it doesn't do them any favors. So my hope is that they'll continue to learn, but we really are only going to do 2 more weeks of school after this before we go on kind of baby watch break. So I feel like, I can push them and really get them to realize this is what I need to do in these 2 weeks, and then we can all kind of breathe, focus on getting the chores really streamlined, and then a few weeks after the baby comes, really get back into schooling. Hopefully the baby will be cooperative and help me make that happen. But anyways, yeah, so I've been taking more walks too, because we've been taking walks with our little ones, and I've been walking down to check on the animals to make sure that my sons are giving them enough water and things like that in the morning. So physically, I've been pretty physically active, and emotionally doing pretty well. Definitely feeling like I want to wrap up loose ends and be able to just kind of wait on my baby at this point. So hopefully next week I'll report to you that I'm a little closer to that. For now, I am wearing a dress, so I'm not going to show you my belly like unveiled today, but I'll show you my belly in my dress. But first, I did get a couple things. I got a little package in from a viewer and also a listener. She listens to the podcast, which is something else that I need to get back to doing. But she sent a little note, which is really sweet. And she sent a little diaper cover, and it's like the sweetest diaper cover ever because it's got these little origamis on it. Isn't that so cute? So it's a little diaper cover, and this is actually a size 2 diaper cover, which is cool because it'll fit when the baby's bigger. So it's really cute. And she sent a baby Catan carrier, which is a carrier that I actually studied in depth when I was pregnant with Sadie and thought about getting and didn't end up getting it. But I'm excited about using it because it's got kind of the same benefits as the wrap carrier without being quite so complex. So I'm really looking forward to using it. It's obviously bundled up right now, but I'm sure I'll show it to you more after baby comes. I'm also hoping to do the comparison video of the 2 changing pads. I've been thinking about that too. I've spent more time this week just kind of sorting baby things and resorting baby things and everything, which I like because I don't spend too much time. I'm just so busy with my kids and the business and everything, and it's nice to be able to take some time to just think about the baby. So who's going to be here demanding a lot of attention very soon. But anyways, I'll show you my belly now, and then I will talk to y'all next week again, hopefully with some news that I'm able to kind of breathe more easily and just kind of wait on my baby because he or she is getting pretty close. So there's the belly. Obviously I've got the band. One band is right here and one band is right here. So my belly doesn't stick out quite so much. And there's baby way up to here. And even when I push down like that, I can feel pressure downward. But that's what it looks like this week. So this is a 36, moving towards 37 week belly. So with baby number 8. So I will talk to you gals next week, let you know if anything exciting has happened, and hopefully I'll be reporting about how my home visit went and all of that stuff. So I hope y'all have a blessed week, and I'll talk to you soon.